in line with the Make in India initiative of our Honorable Prime Minister. So today's webinar is an effort to create awareness about this quality stock culture activity initiated by BCIL for the benefit of plant tissue culture industry and the farmers. We are extremely privileged to have with us Dr. T. Mohapatra, Secretary, Department of Agriculture, Research and Education, and the DG ICAR, Government of India, who had kindly agreed to launch this quality tissue culture initiative, this quality stock culture initiative, and also to present the inaugural address. Dr. T. Mohapatra, who we all know has extensive experience and expertise in the area of agriculture, with specialization in molecular genetics and genomics, and is presently responsible for setting and implementing the agriculture growth agenda for the country. His research accomplishments include development of first high-yielding basmati rice variety resistant to bacterial leaf blight through molecular marker-assisted selection. He is also an esteemed fellow of the Indian National Science Academy, National Academy of Sciences India, and also the National Academy of Agriculture Sciences. He has been conferred with various honors and awards in recognition of his excellent academic and research contributions. Sir, I extend you a very, very hearty welcome on behalf of all of us. I extend a gracious welcome to Dr. Naveen Kumar Patle, Additional Commissioner Horticulture, Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare, Government of India. Dr. Patle is also handling additional charge as the Director of the Central Institute of Horticulture, Nagaland, and the Executive Director of the National Bee Board. Dr. Patle has more than 20 years of experience in agroforestry and horticulture research, in farm and plantation management, clonal forestry, and capacity building. Dr. Patle has published over 18 research papers in national and international journals, 2 books and 30 book chapters, and is also the recipient of the Best Krishi Vigyan Kendra Award by ICAR. We are happy to have with us Dr. K. Gurumurthy, former Director, Institute of Forest Genomics and Tree Breeding from Coimbatore. Dr. Gurumurthy has served many high-level task forces and committees in the Department of Biotechnologies and other ministries which are dedicated on promoting agriculture research and commercialization in his capacity as chairpersons of these committees. And he has extensive experience and expertise in the area of commercial plant tissue culture. I extend to him a warm welcome. Dr. Vidya Gupta, former Chief Scientist, National Chemical Laboratory, Pune, is a reputed scientist and has to her credit many research publications and patents in the field of plant biotechnology, particularly in the area of post-pathogen and post-pest interactions, molecular markers for agroeconomic traits and agricultural biotechnology. Dr. Gupta has been awarded the CSR Award for Science and Technology Innovations for Rural Development in the year 2007. I extend to her a sincere welcome. I also welcome my colleagues, Dr. Vibha Ahuja, Chief General Manager, Dr. Shivkant Shukla, Deputy General Manager, Ms. Nupur Chaudhary, and other colleagues. We are heartened by excellent response from tissue culture industry, academia, research scholars, both nationally and internationally. We accord a wholehearted welcome to all the participants. Last but not the least, once again, I extend a warm welcome to one and all. Thank you very much. Thanks. Over to you, Nupur.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for a delightful address. I now request Dr. Shivkant Shukla, Deputy General Manager, BCIL, to give a presentation on the current status of stock culture. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Nupur. Is it visible? The slides are visible?
Yes.
Okay. So first of all, we are really grateful to DG ICAR for kindly accepting this invitation. And I remember our earlier days of association when we traveled together with Dr. Vidya Gupta, Dr. Gurumurthy, and Dr. Mohapatra quite extensively across the country. So because time is constrained, so I don't want to share that experience, but that is quite enriching experience. And here I will just share the brief about the quality stock culture, why this initiative is being taken by BCIL. And again, I won't take much time because all the technicality is known by industry, academia. They know all what is stock culture, why it is relevant. Just I will set the base for further discussion. And since our DG sir is highly busy and preoccupied, so our audience would like to listen him more. So briefly, I just cover about the quality stock culture. So as you know, BCIL has completed journey of more than 3 decades. It has been created by the Institute of Department of Biotechnology, Government of India. It has played key role for commercializing biotechnology and particularly the plant culture, which has witnessed a great journey in the last 3 decades, just like the Biotech Consortium India Limited. So as you know, that there are more than 200 companies in India and gross turnover is 750 crores annually. And there are many companies, small companies for 0.5 million to up to 70 million we have. Many plant species well commercialized like apple, banana, sugarcane, potato, and many more. And the new plant species that are coming up. And as you know, for producing quality planting material, the initial input is very, very important. Now with BCIL is actively involved in capacity development of stakeholders, entrepreneur, and we played key role for setting up certification program in the country for the last 15 years, from 2006 to 2021. So with this association, we witnessed success of this culture, and it has been documented well in terms of the success story published by APARI, international body, like banana tis culture, apple tis culture recently, and co-authored by now with this thing, we had a detailed interaction that what PCL can do for the tis culture industry as a continued journey. And in September 9, 2021, we had a detailed interaction with participation of more than 300 delegates, but mainly the industry stakeholder. And then it was concluded that BCL should take some initiative to support industry in a big way, and decided that there could be many ways like quality stock culture, skill development, providing some kind of traceability application, and information dissemination, all those aspects that has been covered. And quality stock culture, that was the key area for promoting plant culture, so that has been taken up. Now you know that quality stock culture is highly crucial for producing the quality plant, not only quality plant, but also for the sustained tissue culture operation. And other than the production stock culture of the promising variety, there are many more local variety. But all eminent expert, Mahapatra sir, Vidya ma'am, and all the stakeholders, they know that there are many more variety in the country, like red banana, rasthali. They need to promote those variety in a big way. And for that, the industry face constraint to get the immediate quality stock material. So PCL will make up an effort to produce such kind of elite quality planting stock culture. And to start with, we are doing with the grand name just to test this concept, how this is working. So presently, as you are aware that companies are there establishing and they're importing. There's two ways to get the stock material. And when they're importing, all the four known viruses sometimes is not being tested. Phytosanitary is big trouble. And getting from the, as Dr. Purnima ma'am told, MDBCL, that getting from unauthorized source, it's creating again trouble for the industry. So to address those constraints, BCL is making effort to produce the quality planting material. Now, when you go for establishment, high contamination is a problem. Availability of the stock, elite material is a problem. And sometimes industry gets sudden demand, but at the same time, we don't have the backup culture. And if you have the such repository, then they can get the starting material immediately for the mass multiplication. So this will address those constraints. And BCIL has been making sincere effort to support industry for a long time, and we will continue our journey effort to support industry in a big way because industry needs lots of support. It is a vulnerable industry. It's a labor intensive. All perishable materials are being produced. So how to support that? There's many ways to support, and BCL, our expert panel, expert pool, definitely will support industry with all our experiences. Now, this stock culture, superior clone will be identified. Virus index material with the passport data will be provided. So this will save time and energy. Now, selection of mother plant is, you will be happy to know that Dr. B.B. Singh is eminent expert in banana tissue culture. He has joined us to select the elite mother plant. And already we have started selection and we have started establishing the starting material. SOP is well defined. And now again, the standard operating procedure is guided by our eminent expert, shared by Dr. K. Gurumurthy, co-shared by Dr. Nitya Gupta. Dr. K.T. Rangaswamy is another expert who is a known virologist, and Dr. V.P. Singh, along with Dr. Purnima Sharma, MD, BCIL. Now the impact it will create, it will provide the reliable source within the country. This will be the economical alternative to the imports, less than 3 times costly what we are getting from the imported material. Quality with service, that is very important. Quality, it means is a virus-free elite superior plant is there. But services, it has to be the sync with the existing certification program so that whatever material is being provided, it can go for the certification later date without any constraint. Addressing the market fluctuation, promoting the local variety, and it will reduce the dependency of import and it will promote the make in India. So with this thing, I will close myself this point. And thank you very much once again to all the dignitary and the participants. So we'd like to happy to listen to our guest today. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir, for your informative presentation. It was quite enlightening. I now request Dr. K. Gurumurthy, former Director of Institute of Forest Genetics and Tree Breeding, Coimbatore, and Chairperson of BCIL Quality Stock Culture Initiative, to kindly enlighten us with significance of quality stock culture. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much. Am I audible to everybody?
Yes, sir.
Okay. First
Nupur,
of all,
can I sorry, sir, I'm just intervening. As per the program structure,
yes.
and since DG sir has kindly created and he has to rush somewhere, can we request him first? Then we'll listen Dr. Gurumurthy and
Dr. Shukla, let Dr. Gurumurthy go ahead, no problem.
Okay, sir. Great, sir. Thank you so much. So kind of you.
Yeah.
Sure, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. I'm indeed grateful to Professor Dr. Mohapatra, who, despite his exalted position, attending this webinar with great humility, that shows that the importance of quality in plants he appreciates. This is an interesting, very interesting participation from Dr. Mohapatra. I'm grateful to him, grateful to other people as well for joining in this. Mother plants or mother tissue culture.
Sir, again, I will take liberty to intervene. Sorry for that. I can take the liberty with you. Now, Dr. Naveen Patle has joined, Additional Commissioner Horticulture. We welcome you, sir, on board. Thank you for joining.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Please go ahead.
Oh, good. Shall I continue?
Yes, sir. Please, sir. Sorry for intervening.
Quality plant, quality mother plant. These are two issues. Mother is internationally very famous and very important, very, very important, extremely important, whether it is plant or animal or anything. Selecting quality plants for mother culture is something great that the BCIL is doing. And they are doing already they have done a great job for the farmers of this country. I remember about 15, 20 years back, we had about hundreds of legal cases in the country with regard to tissue culture raised plants, particularly banana. After BCIL took over, providing quality planting material and also helping all the farmers and the commercial tissue culture laboratory how to go about it. Particularly their standard operating procedure document is internationally known very well. And it is made in such a way any member who joins can easily evaluate the quality of infrastructure, human resource, and the product. This was the most interesting thing. In fact, I have learned many things on the way working with BCIL. This is and I also am grateful to Dr. Shukla for having provided me the opportunity to be a member of the accreditation committee to help develop the farmer. It was an enjoyable ride all along. Now, coming back to the quality planting stock. Quality planting stock means quality for improving the quality in terms of yield as well as income. And I'm sure all these procedures are going to be very helpful to the farmers in providing quality planting material and as a starter material. And I hope this program, I wish this program a very good success. I mean, not only wish, I'm of the opinion it will be fully successful. I don't have much to add. I would like to be associated with this program so that I'll be in a position to learn more, particularly from farmers and the BCIL strategies. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. That's all I have to say.
Thank you, sir, for your illuminating presentation. We have been highlighted about the presentation, and that was really good. I now request Dr. Shivkant Shukla, DGM BCIL, to invite our honorable chief guest. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Nupur.
जैसे ये क्या नाम है, डॉक्टर पाटले बताना चाहेंगे, डॉक्टर विद्या बताना चाहेंगे? I will leave exactly at 3:30, so I believe before that we can finish one or two.
Yes, sir. Now then we have plenty of time, so we can go as per the schedule. So Nupur, I request you to invite Dr. Patle, Additional Commissioner, then Dr. Vidya Gupta, then our chief guest.
Okay, sir, as you say. So thank you, sir. I would now request Dr. Naveen Kumar Patle, Additional Commissioner of Horticulture, Ministry of Agriculture, to give us the special address on necessity of indigenous banana stock culture for tissue culture industry. Over to you, sir. Over to you, Dr. Patle. Dr. Patle, am I audible? So I think there is some problem.
Anyway, there is some problem. Go ahead with Dr. Vidya.
Yeah, Dr. Vidya ma'am can continue.
Okay, I'm so sorry, Vidya ma'am. This is I would like to request you yourself, Dr. Vidya Kumar, Dr. Vidya Gupta, former Chief Scientist of CSIR National Chemical Laboratory, Pune, and co-chairperson BCIL Quality Stock Culture Initiative, to share her expert views on the subject. Over to you, madam.
Professor Mohapatra, DG ICR, Dr. Patle, Additional Commissioner, Agriculture Commissioner, Dr. Gurumurthy, Dr. Purnima Sharma, Dr. Shivkant Shukla, and all the members of BCIL, as well as the participants. Good afternoon to everyone. I am extremely happy to be here today, part of this program. In fact, I would say a celebration of launching this activity of mother stock cultures to the tissue culture industry. If we really look at the last 2 decades, this has been a golden period for agriculture, in my opinion. There have been plenty of developments in agriculture. If we look at digitizations, the artificial intelligence, or various instruments, all these have added to the agricultural growth in country. And as we all know, we take really long time to see the fruits of developments in agriculture, especially. This year, we are in a position of exporting the grains to other countries rather than importing them. So all this slowly has added to the development and growth of agriculture sector in our country. And one important area in agriculture, I would say, mostly the commercial side of the agriculture is the tissue culture industry. As Dr. Shukla mentioned, there has been a great growth in tissue culture, especially the fruit crops like banana, pomegranate, and so on, industry in the country. And in that also, mostly 70% of our industry presently, at least in India, is focused on banana, and that too on Grand 9. But there has been demand from farmers and consumers for other local varieties also. Now, for the medium level industries as well as small scale industries that we have been visiting in the last 15 years, we all noticed that many of these small scale industries and medium scale industries, they face problem in getting quality planting material. Most of them use Grand 9, but some of them use other varieties also. And for getting Grand 9 original from Israel or collecting it from the field around, there have been many issues associated with the quality of the mother cultures. So the effort initiated by BCIL in providing this quality planting material to the industry is an extremely appropriate step taken by BCIL to uplift the industry, tissue culture industry. So really, I think the effort is at the right time, at the apt time. And if we look at the experience of BCIL, especially Dr. Shukla and the team in tissue culture, banana tissue culture, as well as other crops, the way he has brought in innovations in the NCSTCP activities as such, because I have seen right from writing the report to developing the holograms, Dr. Shukla has taken lot of efforts in bringing in all these developments. So I think with his initiative, innovative initiative, this activity will go much further, and the Indian industry as well as the farmers would get good quality planting material. Banana is just one in the beginning, I think, but they will also have other banana varieties as well as other crops cultures initiated with them, which will be provided to the industry. So I wish them all the best and all the success in their endeavor. And I also wish BCIL takes many more activities like developing the softwares and have training programs for industry as well as the farmers under this particular activity. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your words. Dr. Shukla, if it's okay, sir, can we now have our session with our honorable chief guest?
Yeah, actually, Dr. Patle is suddenly she's preoccupied and she's saying that he will join in 5-10 minutes. So I think we can have the pleasure of inviting Dr. Mahapatra sir. So,
okay, thank you very much.
Let me just
thank you very much. So
it's my great privilege and the pleasure to invite our honorable chief guest, Dr. T. Mahapatra, Secretary, Department of Agriculture, Research and Education there, in the DG, Indian Council of Agriculture Research, to kindly launch the stock culture initiative of BCIL.
Okay, go ahead, Dr.
So, sir, with your kind presence, I would like to request kindly launch this initiative officially just virtually clicking this tab.
Yes.
Thank you so much, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
It's a great moment for plant
Yeah, okay.
research industry and entire stakeholder. This will help industry and ultimately farmers of the country to enhance their income by getting the quality planting material. May I now request you to kindly deliver
Yeah,
the
so
welcome
before that,
inauguration.
sir, with your kind permission, I'll say this is a special day for BCIL. Not only because you launched the quality stock culture initiative, also on a special day for you also, because for all our participants, it is Dr. T. Mohapatra's birthday also. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Many happy anniversaries.
Many happy returns, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
We have today participants from more than 20 countries, sir, and they're witnessing.
Oh, I see.
And all
I
well
see.
wishes are with you.
Okay, thank you. So, good afternoon, everybody. Let me go ahead because of the limitation of time. Another 25 minutes are left, so I'll take 20 minutes. Dr. K. Gurumurthy, former director of IFGTB Coimbatore and chairperson of Quality Stock Culture Initiative. Dr. Vidya Gupta, former chief scientist essential, head of the bioscience division, and also co-chair of Quality Stock Culture Program and Initiative. Dr. Purnima Sharma, Managing Director, Biotech Consortium India Limited. Dr. Navin Patle, Dr. Shukla, Dr. Bibha Ahuja, I'm told she is also linked to the program. And there are, as it was said, delegates from many countries, including from India, are linked to the program. So on my own personal behalf, on behalf of the Indian Council of Agriculture Research and Department of Agriculture Research and Education, I extend a very hearty welcome to each one of you. And at this moment, let me congratulate BCIL for Quality Stock Culture Program. This initiative is a very, very important initiative. So hearty congratulations for that. And also congratulations for organizing this webinar on significance of indigenous culture. This is relevant for industry, for farmers, and for the country as a whole. So it's very timely, very kind of, I would say, desirable initiative. Everyone needs, not that we need today, we need today more than ever before, and certainly we continue needing this in years to come. I say so because India has been doing exceedingly well in the arena of agricultural production. And you know how we are able to feed 1.3 billion plus. Now people estimate says 1.4 billion plus population. Not only that, providing free ration to more than 80 crore people for months together during COVID. And it reveals our efforts with regard to equity and serving those who do not have adequate purchasing power. We used to talk about it, but today we have acted on this, implemented very successfully, which is globally recognized and acclaimed, at how India takes care of equity and equality in a massive scale. Many countries of the world would not have even a population of this size which is actually fed with a free food for months together. Not only that, India is able to export, and export last year was about 41 billion US dollar, which was 19 billion more than what we actually imported with regard to agriculture related products. And this year we have crossed 50 billion US dollar. And the reason is known: there is war, there are needs, and there is also climatic disturbances. So all that contributing to India enhancing very significantly its export. When I say that we have been able to increase our export, it's impossible if there is no sufficient production. So without production, without meeting our own needs, we can't export. So this certainly tells us that India has been able to produce enough, has been able to keep in stock sufficient quantity to meet the global requirements at the time of needs. And this time is best exemplified, and that is how we have been able to keep pace with the global demands. So enhancing production and production of quality material, because the global population, consumers in particular, are conscious of the quality, safety, and all that associated with the food. So if they are not safe, if sufficient quality is not really maintained, obviously the global demand would not be there, and the exports get cancelled or rejected when even they reach the foreign soils, they are returned back. So keeping that in mind, so obviously we have to continue our efforts to produce quality, high quality rather, and safe food to be consumed by quality conscious consumers globally. Not to forget that one country, India, also requires increasingly quality and safe food. Gone are those days that nobody would question what is being sold in the market. We have to have, again, quality produced, safe food available to the consumers, and which is a very, very big size of the population, and who keep asking this question while they are lifting a product from the stores. So this is another aspect. And all these have happened not without the technology. So technology has gone to the field, large scale, and the process contributing to this revolution. We said that food grain production more than 6 times as compared to 1950-51, more than 600% increase. That is more than 6.5 times increase. So, and in the process, we are able to feed ourselves and then exporting. And projection for this 22-23 is that we should be able to reach 328 million tons. And that is quite huge. And we then only would be able to meet the needs at in the global market. So this growth, more than 3.5% despite COVID, more than 3.5% growth despite COVID is quite significant. You don't find in the international level many countries growing at that level, at that rate. year after year, and despite the COVID problems. So this is something which is very, very significant. If you take an example that in case of sugar, and sugar 6 years ago, 13, 14 data, if you see, we're producing about 23 to 26 million tons of sugar. And some years we were able to export it. This is 1-2 million extra, and some years we have to import. So quite a bit of instability there. There comes introduction of the new variety CO238, and with 20 tons more sugar, more cane yield per hectare, and sugar recovery more than 2% over and above what was happening, particularly in Uttar Pradesh, the state having largest area, and slowly replacing the old variety, now more than 90-95% area which is this variety. And in the process, what happened? Our sugar production increased by 6 to 7 million tons, reaching 34 last year, 34 million tons. And this year, again, it is expected that it would cross 35 million tons. And while the Maharashtra gives a stabilizing factor around 11-12 million tons, and then UP sugar production increased. So the technology is a disruptive technology, giving 20 tons of more sugarcane yield and 2% more sugar recovery, going up to even 12%, 13% in UP conditions, and in the process enhancing sugar, and decision to divert sugarcane juice for bioethanol production. Because of this, because we do not know, so much of sugar you can't store as you store grains and then for unlimited time. And obviously, you have to have market in the global arena to export. And you have to be also competitive with regard to price. There are several factors, but then the disruptive technology in the form of a variety and other management practices bringing this revolution. And so also Pulse's revolution of having 9 million tons extra production, 6 to 8 to 9 million tons, in fact, and import, reducing by about 50-55%. This is something very, very significant in recent times during past 5-6 years. And, pomegranate revolution in the form of, export, in the form of production, and enhancing farmers' income. That's what is the objective. How do we actually increase the farmers' income? Honorable Prime Minister's call that we have to double the income, and we are now documenting farmers' income doubling during past 5-6 years. Pomegranate farmer who got Padma Shri award from Gujarat, he claims that from 1 hectare of land he gets more than 5 lakhs, net profit. And he has a large farm size of his own, and also hires on lease basis, and he is exporting. So having so much of return and profit per hectare per year is quite significant with pomegranate. So the variety Bhagwa, which we University, Rowdy Agriculture University and ICR developed, and other variety Ganesha and Ganesh Bhagwa, both revolutionizing pomegranate production in this country. So technology going to the field, and in the process, having this impact at the field level and increasing farmers' income. But this is not just in terms of seed and plant and planting material, but quality planting material going to the field, and horticulture production going beyond 330 million tons. 330 million tons, more than 200 billion. More than maybe 10,000 crore rupees rather, export by way of horticulture produce. So it is quite a bit of development during past one decade particularly, and quite significant. And obviously technology plays a significant role, is the driver. I think Biotech Consortium, has been involved in a very, very important aspect, that is with the plant tissue culture and tissue culture for quality planting material. Because horticultural production in particular, depends heavily on quality planting material. And certification of these quality planting material production, there was nothing, in fact. The Department of Biotechnology and initiating this and giving the responsibility to BCIL to carry out this, and simultaneously virus indexing to know if it is a virus-free material, the mother stock as well as the propagated ones. So tissue culture production, large scale micro multiplication, and quality planting material ensured by way of virus indexing both, and also the genetic fidelity through testing of using various techniques, particularly DNA markers, various types which are used. So all these bringing a kind of revolution in banana tissue culture to start with. I think the number of laboratories, private laboratories which are involved in banana tissue culture and sugarcane tissue culture, and some of them now apple tissue culture, particularly rootstock micropropagation, and pomegranate now large scale. So these are beautiful examples of enabling the public system and the private system to provide sufficient quality planting material to the country, so that the horticultural revolution, what we call as a rainbow revolution, is enabled, and the country is empowered. We are able to provide sufficient fruits and, of course, the other horticultural produce to the consumers, and we are able to export. I have been part of this program. Dr. Shukla was referring to. We used to go, in fact, Dr. Gurumurthy and myself were part of the team. And Dr. Vidya Gupta, of course, I could not, go together with Vidya Gupta. Maybe once, I remember. We were there in the team to go from place to place to certify the tissue culture material. The laboratory, particularly, which were producing largely banana those days, and it's now more than 20-year-old story. And then subsequently, of course, the other tissue culture happening. The laboratories which are doing virus indexing, the referral labs, and also the other labs which were producing, particularly they are called accredited test labs. Those days, I believe they are still there and continuing. So the referral labs and accredited test labs, and going there and seeing their activity and quality of the labs and the way they are working, the logbooks, and then the facilities, the infrastructure, and all that, providing reports to Suklaji and BCIL to see whether to really accredit them or not. So those are the days. And in fact, the DNA work which were being carried out those days, many of the labs, Hyderabad or elsewhere, we used to visit and then see how they are doing. So my association has been quite satisfying. And when I look back, I read, in the whole, activity of BCIL and supporting and promoting quality planting material production, through all these, the certification, indexing, fidelity testing, and all that has actually promoted, this technology. And technology has gone to field, and it has boosted the production in the process. There has to be impact assessment, how this technology, to what extent it has contributed. One can say in terms of million planting material coming out from these labs, that is one way of assessing. But I think more than that, it would be worthwhile to see what is the extent of value, gross value it has generated, and what is the extent of contribution to socio-economy of the farmers, in what way it has actually improved their income. And in fact, the societal benefits often we don't take into account. So probably it would be worthwhile, Dr. Purnima, to actually engage with another, third party rather, to look at it. Might have already done to a certain extent, I do not know. So I don't have the report, but I may be ignorant about it. But if it is not there, probably it would be worthwhile to have elaborate analysis that what extent this program has been able to really facilitate and contribute to this revolution based on tissue culture derived plants in the country. Of course, when we say that we have to have quality planting material, quality tissue culture derived plants and planting materials, obviously the stock culture is so important. Grand Nain is a beautiful example of a banana that we got from outside. We used to maintain the quality, and whenever required, again keep getting. And so also in case of apple, rootstocks, keep getting from outside. So maintaining quality stock and the cultures, disease-free material, and also propagating them through the standardized procedure of micro culture multiplication. So that's very, very important. And I'm sure this has caught the imagination of the private sector. They are there very much, but I believe that our own local material and addressing the issues there, recalcitrance of some of these local genotypes to tissue culture per se, so obviously puts a limitation. So standardization of tissue culture regeneration process, whether shoot tip, and shoot tip is easier, but other tissue culture systems, it's not really easy. So I believe that more and more standardization of procedure, tissue methods with regard to our local, genotypes, not only in banana and in others, is very, very important. So banana, Dr. Shukla presented different local types, Rasthali, for instance, and Puvan, for instance. There are a large number, and they are preferred differently at different locations. And obviously, creating disease-free planting material is the key to success, to have a higher income for the farmers, to have exportable quality produce. And the whole world is afraid of transmission of diseases and insects through these products. And if we can have disease-free planting material and keep the plant, subsequently during the season free of diseases and insects, and obviously, and have traceability established. And blockchain technology is now being employed to have that traceability. So traceability starting from the quality stock culture, and from there, and producing sufficient quantity of propagated plants, and then tissue culture derived plants, and then taking through appropriate production system and maintaining quality and safe produce, then taking to the market. And the blockchain certainly helps. And I believe that the whole process can be again streamlined to promote export. Banana is now being exported. We developed a sea route protocol, and it is now packaged properly and being exported. So it's exported to Italy. Like the European Union is very conscious of the quality. And I believe that we actually tag all these kind of segmented activities together through blockchain, and then have traceability established, we should be able to really promote tissue culture, micro propagation of quality material, particularly in case of banana, and also in case of pomegranate. And why not? In case of apple, we get so much of a root stock from outside countries. Planting material, so much we are getting from outside countries. So we can easily identify this and then go for grafting. And once we have sufficient root stocks micropropagated and quality root stocks resistant to borne diseases and tolerant to abiotic stresses like drought and salinity and so on and so forth, and which can also, it is known, rootstock can influence the yield and quality. So knowing all that, the best quality rootstock in case of apple can be actually multiplied, and if we have quality stock cultures maintained, and this initiative certainly would be quite rewarding as we go along. And it's not just, in case of banana, apple, and pomegranate. In fact, in case of pomegranate, the bacterial blight is a serious threat. In fact, many of the gardens are, completely, demolished, being demolished because of this, problem of disease caused by Xanthomonas. And similarly, there are other problems. And starting with, if we do not have disease-free planting material, will not be able to actually have a successful, pomegranate production. So quality pomegranate production would depend upon the quality planting material with regard to this. And obviously, this area, Jain Irrigation is already producing. We have licensed the technology to 6 different companies, and I'm sure, production of planting material with regard to pomegranate to bring another revolution. It has increased very significantly. We have increased our export, and there is plenty of opportunity to actually, have, further work in this direction. Date palm is another successful example, and date palm, Anand Agriculture University standardized. Now it has been given to, some of the public system in Gujarat. And also the private companies, the sufficient material is not being produced as yet. And, but then in case of sugarcane, we are able to again produce huge quantity of planting material. So all this suggests that there is, a great need to, systematize our quality stock culture production and maintenance. And a large-scale maintenance and production of quality stock culture would certainly help this whole activity. I was talking about date palm, but then we have now great need of oil palm. More than 11,000 crores government has earmarked for production of planting material included for oil palm. So they are all being imported. So what kind of material is being imported? And we do not know. If we know the material which performs well, the genotype which performs well, the hybrid which performs well in India, one need to really produce sufficient quantity of planting material with regard to oil palm. If we get something from outside, over here, and there are some examples in Andhra Pradesh, then you end up in problem actually. So in oil palm, there is a great need to actually identify the best quality stock, best quality parental line, which is performing very well, giving 5 to 6 tons at least oil under our conditions, under best management conditions in India, and then getting sufficient planting material from that for large-scale use in the country. And we have, more than 6 lakh hectares to actually plant this. Huge quantity of material is required. So similarly, there are other needs, and I cannot go on talking about just like that. So time is also over for me, and I'm sure this BCIL stock culture program would not only help India, but also anyone in Asia and Africa. Certainly Asia and Africa, many other countries, they need this. Once we have the technology, once we have this SOPs, once we have the standard, for each quality standard available for each one of them, certainly we should be able to provide and guide other countries. And you have done this work with APARI, documenting the success of banana tissue culture in India. And APARI objective is taking success from one country and giving that to other countries, so that other countries also follow the same procedure and succeed. And I'm sure as we go along, industries, the partnership with the industry would increase, the public-private partnership would flourish, and their activity would be strengthened. Without quality stock culture, there cannot be large-scale micropropagation or production of planting material. So industry would be greatly facilitated, and they would be promoted if we have such programs here. I'm sure industry can also invest. The small industry may not be industries like joint irrigation system, and there are many others global level we're working. I'll not go into those, but we can still involve with them, engage with them, and then see that we together succeed. The public system, Department of Biotechnology, has been at the forefront of supporting this program, funding this program. We would be extremely happy to partner in all. We have been partnering, and our labs have been partnering in certification, in indexing, virus indexing, and also in fidelity testing, and so on and so forth. And we can continue doing that, and then provide industry greater opportunities to flourish. And I believe that it will be a win-win situation, and we can also support global community and industry at the global scale. I wish the program a grand success, and I hope the webinar will provide new pathways for us to actually work and implement those recommendations which would be coming out from this deliberation. And thank you very much for inviting me to be part of this particular program. Thanks, Dr. Purnima Sharma. Thanks, Dr. Gurumurthy, for being here. And thanks, Dr. Vidya and Dr. Shukla, for insisting that I should be here.
Thank you.
And my time is over. I have to attend another program. And thank you very much. Wish you all the very best.
Thank you from the
Thank you
core
so
of our
much,
heart,
sir.
sir. Thank you for being
So
part
nice.
of this, launching ceremony. And very, very grateful to you for this very informative and enlightening talk about the state of the art, what we have achieved, and the way forward, and the potential that agriculture offers for our country. So very, very enlightening, very informative. Thank you very much, sir. We need your
Thank you
guidance
very
and
much.
support.
If you allow, I will take leave.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
Thank
you.
you
so much, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you so
Thanks
much.
for your kind words, everybody. Thank you very much. I take leave. All the best.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. Nupur, you can invite Dr. Patle now. He is here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I now request Dr. Naveen Kumar Patle, Additional Commissioner of Horticulture, Ministry of Agriculture, to give a special address on necessity of indigenous banana stock culture for tissue culture industry. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
The webinar especially is being conducted on significance of indigenous quality stock culture for agriculture industry. And of course, I will be talking about the horticulture industry. In today's program, Dr. Purnima Sharma, Managing Director, BCIL, Dr. Shivkant Shukla, and our chief guest, Dr. Tulachan Mahapatra sir, Secretary DARE, and other dignitaries in this program. I got late because I have some other urgent work, so sorry for that. So now I think I'm attending this webinar series second time, being hosted by Dr. Shivkant Shukla. So I would like to thank Dr. Shivkant Shukla and his team for inviting me in this program. In fact, we are talking about the quality stock culture in horticulture field, especially from during last 6 months. We have a round of meetings on this aspect in Ministry of Agriculture, especially for those plants which are high in demand. Among them, apple, walnut, then date palm. Other than this one, some exotic crops also like kiwi. Whenever we talk about the tissue culture industries in horticulture field, there is only one picture which is emerging, that is the banana crop only, banana. Then somebody is talking about the strawberry crops. And especially in banana, then variety like G9 and some other tissue culture material that has been developed in the country and spread in the country in the form of area expansion in different parts of the country. Of course, productivity is higher and people are getting advantage from that variety. And again, the all commercial production of banana is based on G9 variety developed through tissue culture technology. Other than this one, strawberry crop, that is one of the crop which has been commercialized for production in different parts of the country, including Maharashtra and other southern part. Other than this one, we have some more crops which have been, especially flowers also, this tissue culture technology has been developed and commercialized. But meantime, we have our own material which is having significant value in terms of quality and in terms of their nutritive value. In terms of their nutritive value, I am highlighting this point because, for example, banana in different regions, especially in southern part and also in northeastern part of the country, we have local germplasm of banana, and it is very much liked by the people, and also there is a good market value of those varieties. But important is we have not promoted those local germplasm, I mean local collection, through tissue culture technology. And the ultimate aim of technology is to develop the disease-free plants, to develop the quality plants for further expansion in the field. Whenever we discuss with any universities, any institutes involved in planting material production, and if you ask about these varieties, this local collection, whether they have developed any tissue culture plants, so you will find very few people who is working on these aspects. Of course, some organizations they are working, but again, at commercial point of view, again there is a shortage of these local collection, whether it is banana or other crops. So now time has come to work on these aspects for commercialization of these local collection, and also to enhance the farmers' income by promoting in domestic as well as in export market. Here I would like to mention few points about the status of horticulture in the field. As of now, we have around 333 million metric ton production of horticulture crops, including fruits, vegetables, spices, plantation crops. If you compare the productivity of our horticulture crops last 8 to 10 years, if you compare the productivity, there is very few. I mean, the growth in productivity point of view, it is very less. Area expansion is there, production is also there. Almost, if you compare with 2004-5 and now, even from 14-15 and as of now, the production has increased. I think it is we already doubled the production, but as far as the productivity is concerned, almost it is we are very much behind from the other countries. So what is the reason? Reason is, of course, the quality planting material. In case of apple, if you talk about the other countries, they have the productivity of those countries that is around 40 to 50 metric ton per hectare. But in case of our country, it is around 8 to 10 metric ton per hectare. So this is the gap in productivity in case of apple, not only in the apple, other crops also. So, and it is directly related with the quality planting material. In this direction, we have a scheme, we have government support also under through Mission for Integrated Development of Horticulture. We are giving support for establishment of model nurseries where the farmers or any individual, they can establish the nurseries, model nurseries using protected structures, good mother block, and also for some irrigation components that is required in nursery. Other than this one, under MIDH, tissue culture laboratories have been established in various states, but again the majority is on banana crop only. Majority of the people are working on banana crop, and some are working on strawberries, and of course on flower crops also, but majority is on banana crop. So why we have switched to the G9 only? Because that time you are thinking this is the good variety and it will get the good market price also, of course. But similarly, we have local collection that can also get the good price, because the adoption in market, definitely people are looking towards our own collection, which is having a nutritive value and also having potential in organic market. So from that point, we have to think on this direction. Through MIDH, definitely we have established many nurseries in various states, and the accreditation of nurseries is also being done by NHB and other agencies for good planting material. But again, the importance of mother blocks. Now I'll give the example of apple. Earlier we are developing the seedling rootstock for multiplication of apple plants. Then after that, the concept of clonal rootstock has been realized, because the importance of rootstock is equally, if you talk about the Sian buds or budwood bank, there is importance of those part, but equally for rootstock also there is importance in multiplication. So now we have switched over to clonal rootstock to improve the productivity of apple plants in the country. I already told you about the productivity of apple in our country. So states like Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand, Jammu Kashmir, now they are switching over to clonal rootstock. But for developing quality plants in apple, I mean the productivity point of view, and also the liking by the consumers in market. You know, in apple industry, what is happening after every 4 to 5 years, some new variety is coming. Even from other countries, the apple is coming, looking the shape wise or color wise, it is very attractive, and the consumers they attract towards those varieties, and then definitely we think these varieties are looking good, very attractive. Definitely it will be equally important from nutritional point of view. But again, very important is now we have to develop our own mother blocks, especially for budwood bank and rootstock block, I mean clonal rootstock block. Earlier we have discussed with Dr. Shukla, some people are working on tissue culture technology to develop the clonal rootstock and apple. So these are the steps which are very much required in the country to develop our own apple industry. Even the apple farmers, some associations, they are asking for the good clonal stock in the country, so that they can multiply the things, they can multiply the plants with the help of this root stock. So this is one of the point which is a very important point. And if any, and people are also importing. Every month we see people are importing around 1 to 1.5 lakh apple plants in the country. We have, I'm the member of Exim committee looking after the export and import of planting material. When I see the requirement of, the supply of planting material, especially the some new varieties, or you can say some rootstock also, even in case of apple, rootstock also, people are importing, and they are selling to the other farmers or individual also. In case of blueberries also, people are importing. Other than this one, now avocado, again we have some own collection in avocado. We have our own collection in kiwi. Of course, kiwi has that crop has come from other country, but even if you go to northeastern region, we have our own collection. But thing is that we have to work on their own collection for multiplication of things, especially through tissue culture technology. So this is the scenario in the country. In a nutshell, I would say with the help of tissue culture technology for promoting or for commercialization of these fruit crops, now time has come to promote such entrepreneurs who can develop these varieties at our level, at our country, so that we can distribute, or we can sell, or we can get the availability of these plants to the farmers. Then another important is very important point we are discussing nowadays, that is the clean plant development. Clean plant development means, again, the plant, whatever planting material is there coming from other countries also, we have to promote the clean plant. I mean, clean means from disease resistant point of view. By this way, or by this material, any disease should not come and it should not go to the field. We have noticed some problems in apple area, because some varieties are there and some infection is there with through some other material coming from other country. So such kind of scenario is there. We have to avoid those conditions, because once these disease spreads in any area, then it is very difficult to control in a short period of time. So this is my concern for the people who are involved in multiplication of the planting material, especially in case of fruit plants. And if you talk about the other crops like spices, again, we have a good collection of spices, especially for large cardamom, small cardamom, and black pepper. These are the plants. These are the spices crops which are being which are being focused and promoted in the country from export point of view, because we have the good export potential for these crops. And thing is that instead of going through seed or going through through seedling plantation, we have to concentrate on good planting material through tissue culture technology. So with these words, I would like to thank especially Managing Director BCIL, Dr. Shivkant Shukla, and other dignitaries of this program for inviting me in this program. And I hope this program will be fruitful for the participants, who they can understand the importance of this technology. They can understand the importance of indigenous quality stock culture for promotion of our horticultural industries in the country. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for sharing your views. We have been highlighted by, about the importance of stock culture. Thank you so much, sir. I now request Dr. Shivkant Shukla, DGM BCIL, to propose a vote of thanks. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Nupur. Great applause to the audience. It is indeed a great response from all the participants. At the outset, I'd like to express our gratitude to our chief guest, Dr. T. Mahapatra, Secretary there in the DGICR. We are grateful to Dr. Naveen Patle, Additional Commissioner, Horticulture, for his kind words. Dr. K. Gurumurthy, Dr. Vidya Gupta, ma'am, they're part of this great initiative. And we have been always benefited with your kind guidance, support, motivation, blessing, all the time. So we look forward for the continued guidance, support to make this possible, because this is a great task, and we need to succeed to support industry as well farmer. So that is our mission at BCIL. Other committee member, Dr. VP Singh, our industry partner, we're highly grateful to them. Dr. K.T. Rangaswamy, he has kindly agreed to be part of this initiative. We're grateful to Dr. Purnima Sharma, ma'am, MD BCIL, for kindly agreeing to make this as a BCIL business activity vertical. Otherwise, at our level, it was difficult to take this such great initiative. Along with our management, senior management, Dr. Vibha Gupta, CG and BCIL, our chairperson, Dr. B.P. Kambos, sir, they're always supporting such initiative. The response is highly encouraging, and we hope that we'll continue to get this response from industry. Already I can see the chat box. They're asking about how to get those material, how to get the quality culture. So definitely I will come back to each company one-to-one on that aspect. Last but not the least, I'd like to thank my colleague, Ms. Nupur Chaudhary, Mr. Vinit Chavlaji, Mr. Suyas, Mr. Sardendu, and all the team members for working, for making this program successful. And even in this long weekend, when other people must be enjoying their holidays, long weekend, they're working to make this webinar successful. So once again, thank you one and all. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr.
Thanks, everyone. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
So with this, your permission, ma'am, sir, can we close this session now?
Thank you, Purnima-ji. Thank you,
sir. Thank
Shukla-ji.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you. And Dr. Vidya Gupta, thank you so much.
Very much.
Now the real program begins.
Yes.
And since already we exceeded timeline, so we're not taking query. We'll address all the queries what we see in the chat box.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
My suggestion is, if possible, you arrange one with industries,
We'll do that, sir.
interaction with industries.
We'll do it shortly, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
I will leave now.
Yeah. So we are leaving now. Yes.
Thank you.
So Dr. Shukla, can we leave now?
Okay, we are now
Yes,
closing
ma'am.
it. Thank you so much.
Sure, ma'am. I hereby declare this webinar to be now concluded. I thank all the participants for joining us today. As Dr. Shukla mentioned, the response has been amazing, especially the participants from the industry for gracing us with their presence for this webinar. Have a great day, everyone.
And
Thank you for joining.
we had international members also.
Yes.
More than
very
20
well.
countries, ma'am.
Yeah.
From
yeah.
Asia Pacific, African countries. And
Yeah.
we are hoping that we'll continue working with this international partner as well. And those who are joined in the beginning, still they are listening us.
Yes.
They still remain joined with us. So now
Yeah,
we are
we need
closing
to
this
find out what are their requirements also, Dr. Shukla.
Sure, ma'am.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great day.